I wish I never focused on price. For so many years, I was fixated on my wedding photography price that I missed the most important thing. I'm Luke Lind, I'm a wedding photographer, and I have done a lot of dumb things in my wedding photography business over the years. And that's okay, because my success is me just standing on top of a mountain of mistakes. And so if you don't want to make the same mistakes that I have, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Wedding photography pricing can be difficult. It drove me nuts. It drove me totally bananas for years. And one of the reasons why I think I had such a hard time with it was because I was simply focusing on the wrong thing. There'd be times that I would sit down and I'd be like, okay, time to grow my wedding business. I want to grow this thing. I want to shoot better weddings. I want to get better. So maybe I should raise my price. And anytime I thought about raising my price, there were two thoughts that always came into my mind that, well, started to drive me crazy. And the first one was, no one is going to pay that much. If I raise it to that, like no one pays that for wedding photographers. Like, I guess I theoretically know people will pay that much, but there's no way that they're actually going to do that. And then the second one was, well, like, okay, if people do pay that much for wedding photography, I don't think I'm worth that. Like, I don't think my wedding photography is worth that amount. And then because those two thoughts would just swirl around and around and around, I would end up just being like, okay, I'm not going to raise my price at all. I'm just going to keep it the same. I'm booking weddings. Things are good. I'm not going to change anything. And then I would watch some YouTube video that was like, you should do premium pricing. Like, that's the only way, is if you have premium pricing, then you'll book more of whatever the clients you want to book more of. And then I'd watch another video that says like, you're worth it, like your photography is special because you're special and you're unique. And then I would be like, yeah, I'm unique. Like, people will pay more for my photography. And so I'd be like, all right, time to raise it. And then I would just hear crickets. And then I'd think, well, okay, I just need to give it a little bit of time. So I would give it some time and then still nothing. And then I would start getting panicked and then be like, well, maybe I don't need to be premium pricing. Like, honestly, I just want to have work to do. I don't need to be like the top of the premium pricing. Like, let's just lower our price. Like, let's go even lower than what we were before. I'd rather just have weddings. Just like, give me the weddings. And then I'll worry about like price later. I would end up going to like jacking up my pricing and then like chopping that in half in order to end up where I started. So then I would be at where I started and start thinking, okay, well, maybe if I do end the pricing in 99 or maybe 95, that is going to be the difference. Or maybe, do I need to take $200 off that? Okay, no, maybe if I add an engagement session and finish the price in 97, then they will book. That's all true stories. And it wasn't after doing that, honestly, it's a little embarrassing to say, for years, I eventually realized that I was focusing on the wrong thing. Like, it could be a thing you could focus on. You either need to completely focus on pricing or you need to completely focus on something else. Because I wasn't willing, if you want to focus on pricing, you need to be the most competitive price with the best product. And I wasn't willing to do that. I wanted a premium product and a premium price. I should have been focusing on quality. Because the reality of what I found is that people didn't buy my product, didn't buy my services simply because of like a magical number that I got perfectly. And then they were like, yes, Luke is the one because it ends in 97. They bought it because of my product, because the product was good. Now, I realize that this is a very nuanced conversation. I can already see the comments in there being like, well, pricing does matter and like round numbers are harder than, odd numbers at the end. Like, I understand. Yes, all those things are true. Some of the things that I tried to make my pricing more appealing do work, and they are helpful at times. But I'm talking about as an entire whole, like what I was really focusing on. I was so zoned in that like pricing must be the reason why I'm not hitting my goals that I forgot about the quality. I forgot about the product. I forgot about one of the most important questions you could ask yourself as a wedding photographer. I want you to sit down in front of your computer, open up Lightroom, open up the most recent wedding that you photographed, and ask yourself this question. Is this the absolute best possible thing that I could produce? I want you to think back with the communication with that client before booking, during booking, the months coming up to the wedding. I want you to think about the wedding day, how you interacted. How was your flash on that day? How was your coverage? How was your storytelling? How was your interaction with the guests and the clients? How was your second shooter? How could I make my clients even happier? What would my business look like? What would my wedding photography look like if I tried to make this the absolute best thing that I possibly could do? What if I wanted to be the best wedding photographer in the world? And that's how I approached shooting weddings and improving. Once I started doing that, I stopped worrying about price so much. I've talked about wedding albums before where I didn't believe in my wedding albums. And then I turned it into something that I really loved, and it was a lot easier. I felt a lot more confident about the price that I set it at and what I was selling. The same thing goes for your wedding photography. When you feel confident that, man, I have poured everything I can into what I'm doing here. I have this is a premium product. That's when you start worrying less about price. That's when you start second guessing yourself less, because you're like, no, I know this is worth what I am charging. And not just worth what I'm charging, I'm giving them a deal. They're only having to pay this much, but man, this photography, this experience is incredible. I started diverting all my brain cells to worrying and panicking about pricing and over to how could I make this the most incredible product? So it's an easy yes for clients to be like, absolutely, I want them to shoot my wedding. If you want some help in this, if you want some help in your business to how to figure out how to get the best product possible, I am starting a mastermind. It's starting in 2 weeks. If you're interested, you can check it out. I put a link in the description below. With a few of you, we're going to take your business to the next level so you can feel confident about the price that you're offering. Okay, bye.